What's up, Knicks Nation? The New York Knicks look to make history as they get their first NBA Cup Finals berth. Is it a big deal? Does it matter? I'm going to unpack that. We're also going to talk about Deuce McBride. We got some updates in his injuries. Unfortunately, he's going to need a little bit more time. Of course, the Knicks, they beat the Orlando Magic and the Toronto Raptors to push their way fourth in the Cup. We got the power rankings. We got Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson, and more on this episode of This Week Inside the Knicks. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan, and I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest, and you know the vibes, man. So tell a friend, we are live. Welcome to the show. Salute to the chat early. I see you, BS10258 in the chat. What's good, JJP, NYC? By the way, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. Listen, BS10258. I know you upset you took that L, man. Talk about why we talking about regular season wins. You know why? Because you said you were going to win this week, and you made it a big deal. That's the Knicks Tape Madness Cup stuff. Welcome to the show, y'all. Tell a friend, we live. Also, to all my parents out there, I'm just going to say this. Part of the reason why I was late is because I had to do some disciplining as a dad. It's just, this never stops, so I apologize for my tardiness, but yeah, I had to regulate, teenagers it's crazy. But some announcements I would like to make. Of course, tomorrow's the big game. We will be going live tomorrow after the game. That'll be late. It'll be a late stream. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. What else? We went 2-0 during this stretch, and we'll be talking about December 8th to the 14th, right? I'm not going to be reviewing the games, the Raptors and the Magic. We already talked about that on the call-up shows. So if you missed the call-up shows, go back and go check those out. It was really good. And, Knicks made history, man. And I'm gonna really unpack that when we get to flagship, because some people saying it don't matter. Some people saying it's a big deal. I just want to give my caveat. Salute to Dogosaurus Rex. We were talking about this actually on the last show, and that's what kind of drove this topic today. But there's some things about the Cup I want to discuss, and we could probably preview the game a little bit as well. I'll jump into research mode without further ado. Bam! So if you don't know, this is This Week Inside the Knicks. It's also associated with a blog called thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. You can go there every single Monday. Mostly in the morning times, but sometimes in the afternoon, like today, I will have a new article up there, and it'll be the same episode title as the actual podcast. So each podcast has a blog associated with. So any news that we don't cover, all you have to do is go here. So I'm gonna take you back. So when you get to the homepage, you'll notice, right? You can click on 25-26 Knicks season. Right? And that'll take you to all of the articles that deals with this season. You click on episode 8 because that's where we are. And you'll be able to see all the news that, we didn't get to cover on the show. And just, I'm guarantee you when you go to this blog, you're going to see something that you did not see. So this is where we'll be reading from. Of course, special highlights. I don't think none is bigger than the Knicks getting to the Cup. But also, Jalen Brunson, he's been on a hot streak. And he was also a nominee for last week's Player of the Week. So big time salute to Jalen Brunson. He's definitely turning heads and doing his thing. And he's getting a lot of the praise and acknowledgement that he deserves. Right? So big time salute to Jalen Brunson. I just want to move this chat over here for getting another nominee. I think this might be his since he's been injured, every week he has been a nominee for Eastern Conference Player of the Week. And my original topic was the MVP, like his MVP, why he's in the conversation. But we already did a show on that. But I'm going to touch on it a little bit based on what Mike Brown's comments was. But Jalen Brunson, I mean, he's incredible, man. I'm rooting for him, and I really want him to succeed. I'm going to jump into some of the stories of the week. Once again, anything that you see on the screen that you may want to check out, all you got to do is go to the website and the blog, and you'll be able to check it out. So I'm going to skip down to number 10 on the Knicks stories of the week. And, of course, Miles McBride, he's out another week. Now, I watched a video on Deuce's injury. It was a doctor that said that this sprain, even though it's not I don't think it's a grade 2, even though they don't, normally the Knicks don't tell us the grades. So you guys know, to all my people know that when I do my little research on injuries and I give you the timelines, usually I'm correct. But it's hard with the Knicks because they don't give you all the details. So it's safe to assume if he's going to be out 2 weeks now, grade 1 sprain is usually two weeks, even though Jalen Brunson, I mean, this guy is incredible. He came back after 2 games. But nonetheless, what makes Deuce McBride's injury a little different is that the sprain occurs in a different area. I can't, listen, I'm not a scientist. Don't ask me to explain it. But it's the location where the sprain took place, which makes this a little different, but it still wasn't hard or harsh enough to keep him out longer, right? So Jalen Brunson said, obviously, we miss him. We want him back. Of course, I miss Deuce McBride. I wish we had Deuce McBride going into this Cup championship. He said we got to pick up the slack on both sides of the ball without him being there. And one thing, too, about Deuce McBride, and this is why I love him, is that even when he is not scoring, his defense, it just matters a lot. The subtle things he does, guarding 94 feet, you know, he's very aggressive. He can use physicality when guarding guys. He's definitely someone that we definitely will miss. And timing is brutal. And here's the key part about the injury that I feel it was kind of off. The timing is brutal for both player and team. McBride was in the middle of a breakout season under head coach Mike Brown, posting career marks, 11.2 points per game. That's fire. 3-point accuracy at 44%. The man is elite. Among players attempting at least 6 threes per game, only Cleveland's Sam Morrow and Denver's Jamal Murray and Milwaukee's league leader AJ Green, who's a hack, by the way, have been more efficient. So, you know, I'm going to give a big time salute to my man Deuce McBride, who has been balling this season, man. And we miss him, and I'm hoping for a speedy recovery. But if you want to read more on Deuce's injury, I got plenty of articles in the Knicks stories of the week section. Go check it out. I'm going to keep it moving. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to jump in that later. You know what? I'll touch on this now because I mentioned it. Mike Brown on Jalen Brunson, MVP. He's a candidate in this business. Now, a lot of you guys who watched the show, of course, seen it previously. You guys know I did a show talking about Brunson being the MVP. I'm going to say what Jalen Brunson has been doing as of late, I think it definitely should propel him into the conversation. In 7 of the last 12 games, he's notched 30 or more points. In the NBA Cup games, and we're going to talk about the Cup a little later, who some of you guys don't think it's that important. You guys think it is important. He's averaging 33 points a game in Cup games. When the moment it gets big, he just stands up and he takes his game to another level. And that's just what Jalen Brunson does. And for him to come off injury and just start balling at this level, he's amazing. He's top 10 in scoring, right? He's top 20 in assists, right? He's very efficient, one of the most efficient players in the league. And Mike Brown says, to me, we're talking about an MVP, right? He said this at the practice facility. And he said, when you look around the league, you're talking about an MVP candidate. You're talking about probably the top three teams in each conference. You got to look at their main guy. Facts. And that's something that I really wanted to harp on. I'm going to go to the standings really quickly, right? So when you look at the standings, I'm going to tell you guys, like I always been telling you, the Knicks, I think that we are the most dominant team in the Eastern Conference. If you want to say the Pistons are better than us because they got more wins, we're gaining on them. Oh, we're coming for them with that win-loss. So let's give Pitt the Pistons. Okay, they got the best record. They're the best in the East. We're the most dominant team in the East. We got the best offense in the East, right? The best differential in the East. We are crushing teams. Our opponent's points per game is second lowest to Boston. So that means that we're also playing defense. Not only do we have the second highest points per game right behind Miami, and we're gaining on them. Notice how we're gaining on them all, right? We also have the second lowest opponent's point score. So that means we're playing defense. We're dominant. We're the hottest team in the Eastern Conference. We won 5 games in a row. And if you're the best player on the best team, that usually should put you in the MVP conversation. Not to say that you're going to win the award, but he definitely is doubling down since the last pod why he belongs in the conversation, right? Won our last 5 games. We won 9 out of our last 10 games. Okay, the brother is performing at a very high level, and he has been catapulting us. Another thing I'm gonna give you guys that no one's talking about right now in clutch games, we are 2-1 with Jalen Brunson. We only had 4 throughout the season because we've been smacking teams. That's what we do. But hold on, you know what? Let me give a big time New York City salute to Nick. We don't go into clutch games. We don't do that. We don't did that 4 times. We dominate the competition. That's what we do. And so like the article says, when you go and you look at what the top teams are doing in both conferences, you got Cade Cunningham, who I also think deserves to be in the MVP conversation as well. I mean, the Detroit Pistons, what he's doing with them is phenomenal. But Oklahoma City, SGA, we know the MVP last year. He, of course, leading this team to very high heights again, 24-2. Can't ignore that. Luka Doncic, 18-7, Los Angeles Lakers. He's going to be in the discussion, though I don't think he will. I feel like Luka is not going to play enough games. I'm not rooting it. I'm not hoping for that. I just don't think he's going to cross that mark. And of course, you got Wemby in San Antonio, who are another guy who I don't think will cross that mark. But the Denver Nuggets, Jokic, top 4 team, they're going to be there. And even Ant-Man, you got to watch him to see what Minnesota Timberwolves are doing, right? The Houston Rockets kind of fell off. Interesting stuff. But their differential is still pretty, it's pretty good. They still got the 3rd highest differential in the conference. The West is it's a very interesting conference right now. I'm trying to understand how, hold on, let me just get this right. Yeah, interesting stuff. Nonetheless, Jalen Brunson deserves to be in the conversation with all of these guys. He's incredible. He definitely deserves MVP consideration. I'm going to keep it moving. I could spend all day on Jalen Brunson, and this was going to be my flagship topic, but, you guys heard me talk about Jalen Brunson before. I just wanted to give you an update. And when they try to hate and say, oh, Brunson, he's not an MVP. Oh, Brunson, he's too small. Or, the whatever negative conversation they have for our captain, you could just tell them you heard it on This Week Inside the Knicks that, listen, man, there's a lot of stats and numbers that gives Jalen Brunson a great argument for why he should be top 5. Definitely in the first team conversation as well. I want to salute to the chat. I see my man Mark in the building, New Day Entertainment. Salute to him. I met with him last week to give him his 82 Nights Journal, a basketball fan companion. Matter of fact, let me jump out of research mode. Bam. Let me talk about this for a little bit, man. You guys definitely got to get your hands on this. Salute to Yuri if you in the building. Yuri got his copy today. So everyone's getting their 82 Nights, a basketball fans companion. This is a sports journal and stat tracker, but it's more than just that. It gives you pretty much 12 different components for you to document the Knicks this season, from the top 10 games to players to keep your eye on to the 10-game review, which I call the Knicks in 10 show. I do a show based on that. I mean, a lot of different elements. It comes with a calendar. Let me show you guys the calendar. I mean, this thing right here is fire. You get 163 pages, or I should say 166 pages of game notes, but this is the calendar right here. So you can put your key dates to all my Knicks fans. You can use this to track all your Knicks information, all your Knicks stuff. Then you get this chart here, the 82 nights game list and scores. It comes with a lot. But salute to my man Mellow Mike and my man Mark, who I linked up with last week. And Mark, he got his copy of the 82 nights. If you want to get your copy, all you got to do is go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. I'll talk more about it as the show goes along. But salute to Yuri, salute to Mellow Mike, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server channel members. I see you in the building. My man BS10258 says elite teams win between 57 and 64 regular season games. Don't put a top on it. It's 57 plus, because if you win 70 games, then you're super elite. Or unless you're trying to say there's a level beyond elite. BS10258 says Knicks are on pace to win 59 games. It's possible. The only thing I think that holds the Knicks back is their road performances against above 500 teams, right? They got to continue to show, they got to improve on the road, and they got to maintain their dominance at home. So if we can get 35 home wins, 25 road wins we did that last year. You know, that's easy. 24 home road wins is easy, but the more home wins you get, the better the odds are. And we right now we're 13-1, so we're one of the best home teams. Well, an argument could be made that we're the best home team in basketball. I know the Thunder is undefeated at home, but we got more wins than them. Zach says, "I want the cup." I'm with you, Zach. I'm gonna get to that. Salute to my man Mark, New Day Entertainment. He says the book is fire. Salute. Oh, and by the way, to everybody who has the journal, I'm gonna be sending you guys an email to let you guys know the 82 Nights Club. I'm putting the final touches on it. The video tutorials page is there. So in the journal, when you scan that barcode, it's gonna take you to a website. You got to create your username, password, and then you'll be able to look at the tutorials right now. Well, right now I only got one tutorial up. I recorded all of them, but I got 5 of them edited. I just got to upload them. I should have that done tonight, but I mean, the video tutorial that's there is a great watch to help introduce you and to give you an overview of how to use the journal. So every section in this journal has a how-to video, by the way. So, and the cheat code, the New York City, not the New York City, the New York Stat Tracker Extended, or I call it the New York cheat code, is a place where basically all the stats you track, I'm giving you those stats and more. When you get inside that 82 Nights Club, you're going to see 62 stats. The NY cheat code is 62 stats that are all Knicks stats. So go check that out when you get the chance, all right? Salute to everybody in the building. Okay, cool. Let me keep it moving. How am I on time? I'm good on time. I'm going to do the Knicks rundown. So the Knicks rundown is pretty much the spot in the show where I go over briefly, the highlights for the week pretty much. And I'm going to go back to the blog. So, yeah, I'm still in Knicks stories of the week, and I'm just going to give you the rundown as of news that took place. So up until the Magic game, and the Toronto game, the Knicks were winless without Deuce. Could you believe that? We didn't have no wins without Deuce, but we managed to get 2 without him. And it doesn't mean that we're better without him. It just means that, hey, we're performing at a high level and guys are stepping up in places where we need them. Like Tyler Kolek, I'll get to him in a second. But yeah, these guys are performing well. And more good news, Desmond Bane was hit with a $35,000 fine for throwing the ball at OG Anunoby. That was like the latest update. That was not the last Orlando game, but the game before that. And then Mike Brown praises Josh Hart for making his job easier after the win over the Raptors. Salute to Josh Hart. He's performing well. We talked about that on the Knicks in 10 show, how well Josh Hart has been performing. And of course, Jalen Brunson had a moment with a Raptors fan where, he had to show him like, this is what I'm going to punish your team. So, yeah, you could talk crazy to me, but I'm going to punish your team. And that's what happens. And, like, I'm a hoop. I got it. Matter of fact, I don't remember which video it is because to all the channel members, I got footage of me playing ball where I'm hooping. And there was one episode I'm in Brooklyn and Cass was heckling me on the sidelines. See, I'm the type of dude, I like that. Sometimes when it's too nice, you just play soft. But when they start talking, first off, you can't out talk me. And then I just start as just like I become Quran 2.0 on the court. So this is exactly what happened to Brunson. Big mistake. Let's see. Mike Brown says Jalen Brunson is thriving despite getting double teamed more often. I mean, the brother Jalen Brunson, man, there's no defense for him. He's just so good, man. Oh my goodness. Let me keep it more. This is supposed to be a fast segment. I could literally talk about each one of these. And Stan Van Gundy laws Mike Brown for checking his ego after taking over the Knicks from Tom Thibodeau. Yeah, definitely salute to Mike Brown. He's doing an incredible job. And takes one to know one. Stan Van Gundy was a good coach, and he gave Mike Brown his props. But that's the Knicks rundown. All of these stories are in the Knicks stories of the week. There's more, news and stuff like that, but I got different categories set up, like the NBA Cup, which I'm gonna get to. That's our flagship topic. As far as the articles that's in the, hold on, let me make sure we can follow along. The articles that are in this Knick Magic game review, you could go check them out to get all the details and things you missed about the game. I'm not going to talk about the game reviews because we already did it. We did a nice little show yesterday. If you missed it and you want to check it out, go ahead. It was a fire video, had some really good calls, and usually after every game we go live. So definitely go check it out. I'm going to come back to the NBA Cup. There's some things I want to talk about before I get to the NBA Cup, right? Because there's some things about the NBA Cup that I think I need to put it in perspective for us, right? Because there's two sides when we get to it. It's the people who don't care, but then there's the people who overly care. And I'm going to try to be the voice of reason. I want to talk about this. Tim Legler said some things recently, and Tim Legler is a guy who I respect. I feel like when you talk about former NBA player, I feel like he's probably like top 3 analysts that was a former player. This dude, Tim Legler, is on the money. So recently, he asked a question, or he hit the Knicks with a question. He says this: if the Knicks don't do it this year, when the hell are they going to get to the finals? When you look at the path, it's like looking at the path through the forest, and a lot of these trees have been cleared out of your way. It's right there for the taking. And of course, this won't come to the shot to those who consider the Knicks season the finals and bust. It's funny, right? And to all my people who don't want us to get Giannis, I might touch on Giannis a little bit, but to those of you who don't want us to get Giannis, this right here is the crux to your argument. The fact that the East is pretty much ours. We're the most dominant team in the Eastern Conference. That's not a debate. And honestly, you could say we're the best team in the East. The way we dominated Orlando and Toronto, right? I know we got a couple of more games. We got Miami again. It's very easy to say that. And you wouldn't be completely off if you did say that. But all of these guys, experts that always used to write us off, from Wendy to Richard Jefferson, all these guys, they all have the Gills Arena class. All of these guys have us coming out of the East. That's without Giannis. That's just with what we got now. Salute to Monica McNutt. She had a great take on ESPN when she was saying why the Knicks shouldn't trade for Giannis. I disagree, but it was a really good take. And you can't deny the success we're having up to this point. Like my man, Knicks will be champs. Formerly Knicks will be champs. BS10, what's your name? BS10 258. Yeah, okay. BS10 258. Like he said that, damn, what did he say? We're the best team in the East. Damn, he had a good quote. He had a good comment. Anyway, nonetheless, the bottom line of this whole shebang right here is that, oh no, he said we're on the path to winning 59 games. All that's fine. All that's fantastic. Let's get 59 wins. You guys know I don't care about that. What I care about is getting to the finals. I'm not going to say championship or bust. I don't think that that's fair. I don't think OKC has that standard. Yes, they want to win the championship, but I don't think they would say championship or bust, right? The time is now. And this is tied in with my flagship topic a little bit. I don't want us to become consumed with just looking good and doing everything else besides getting to the finals. I'm going to leave it there. But Tim Lugler, he's right. And as Daily Knicks says, the Knicks, they're running out of excuses. To keep it going a little bit, he says, I don't think there's enough in their way when you look at it and go, yeah, it's going to be tough for them to get to the finals this year. I almost feel like they have to look at this as if we don't dare, it's a failure based on what the Eastern Conference looks like right now. And it's not that, okay. Now, I'm out with the Eastern Conference talk. I feel like the East is just as deep or deeper than the West. Now, the difference between the East and the West is their top teams are better than the East Coast top team. I mean, it's facts. Like, if you look at Oklahoma, Denver, LA, and Houston, you could throw San Antonio if you want. I still need to see San Antonio do a little bit more, though they look really good. But I'm going to throw Houston in there because they got KD. When you look at the top teams in the West, besides New York or Boston, and even Boston, it'll probably get scratched off this list. How many of these teams will hang with those top four teams in series? Right? So when you look at the top, and then when you get to there's the Phoenix Suns and the Warriors and Memphis and Dallas, and then you look at the Knicks with the East with Philly, Cleveland, Atlanta, Milwaukee. I take the East here. A healthy Milwaukee, I'm taking them over Dallas. Would I take them over a healthy Dallas? Maybe, because they're probably going to make trades. They looking to blow it up. The Memphis Grizzlies, would I take them over the Atlanta Hawks with Trae Young? I don't know. Ja Morant, it'll be a hell of a battle. The Warriors and the Cavs, hell of a battle. So, I don't think the West is better than the East. The top teams are. The top teams are the best teams in the league. But when you get down to like 5, 6, 7, I'm like, yeah, dog, I don't know. And by the way, Houston is the 3rd seed. So why the West is weird? They got it all jumbled up weirdly. Oh, okay, whatever. Let me keep it moving. No, keep it moving. Wait, what? I got another Jalen Brunson on. Hold on. Is that the one I wanted? Oh, okay. I'll touch on this and then I'll get to flagship. Jalen Brunson places in the updated rankings, right? So I'm going to talk about this because this was going to be a part of my MVP take. I had a whole lot. I had like 10 reasons why, but then I realized I did this already, so I went away from it. But I do want to talk about the rankings. Right now, they got Jokic at the number 1 spot. I don't know. I mean, okay, Denver, they're playing well, but I think SGA should be number 1. To me, he's number 1. Luka number 3, Cade number 4. Hard to argue that. Jaylen Brown number 5. That's debatable. And then they got Jalen Brunson number 6. So Jalen Brunson, he got bumped up. I can't remember where he was before that, but Jalen Brunson now is in the top 6 according to NBA.com. The Kia MVP ladder. Jalen Brunson's number 6. First off, I'm gonna give Jalen Brunson a big time salute for that, because a lot of time, like when they first was doing a lot of these lists, Jalen Brunson wasn't even on the top 10. I'm like, what the hell basketball are y'all watching? What the hell basketball are you watching? Straight bugged out. Like what's going on? And when you look at this list, I'm bumping Cade off of there. I don't even need to bump Cade off. The Knicks are the best team in the East. So just because we're better than Boston and Detroit, I'm putting Brunson higher than those guys. Brunson belongs in the top 5. He deserves to be an All-NBA first team. And to all my Giannis people that don't want Giannis, let me add this to your argument arsenal. If Jalen Brunson gets to that first team level, that's the requirement that we needed to have a championship. Just wanted to touch on that really quickly. I'm going to take a brief peek in the chat and keep the show moving. Definitely, if you hadn't already, Go check out This Week Inside the Knicks.com to go get your copy of the 82 Nights. This is the hardcover edition. I do got the soft cover right here as well. Let me show you guys. This is the soft cover, okay? Feels so good in your hands. This is just like good quality stuff here, okay? High quality pages as well. Definitely. This Week Inside the Knicks.com. Go check it out. All right, as I knock over everything on my shelf. I'm going to take a peek in the chat just to see what y'all talk about. Salute to the chat. Y'all lit, man. I do appreciate y'all. The views have been up recently. And for sure, if you guys show up tomorrow night, I think I'm going to do a special giveaway tomorrow night. So make sure you guys are in the building for that. That'll be the post-game show to the World Cup. Well, let me see if I can zoom in. Yo, guys, I think I'm going to need glasses, man. My vision has been kind of different recently. Let's see. BS10258 says, but in my opinion, New York can beat any of the top 6 teams in the West and the best of 7 and OKC included. That's why I always say the only person in the chat, because I'm still on my Giannis bag. I still want Giannis, but the only person in the chat that I believe that really believes we can beat OKC is that brother right there. The rest of y'all don't believe you could beat OKC in the series. Stop capping, stop fronting. HRM says, I can't stand how the media be sweating the Spurs like they done some facts. The amount of coverage they getting for one win. Right. They barely cover the Knicks like the East, the G League or some fat. Yo, I hate the Eastern Conference argument, and I'm willing to debate anybody on that. We can go differential. The top teams in the West got the best differential, but what about those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10s? The East teams got better differential than those teams. So that's the balance. But I don't think that there's a such thing as a Eastern Conference. They need to give the Knicks their props, right? And by the way, right now we are 4-0 against the West Coast. I know we only play one 500 and above team in Minnesota, but we are 4-0 against the West. I'm just saying. New Day Entertainment said, I want Giannis, but not at the cost of Hart, OG, or Bridges. Sorry, brother. One of them got to go in the deal unless you're just trading Cat and Deuce. If you do, I think Cat and Deuce could get it done because it'll become like a multi-team deal. Towns will go somewhere else if Milwaukee doesn't want him. Salute to my man Randu in the building. I do appreciate you in the building. Channel member, I see you. Who else is in the building? Let me see what these guys talking about. Is Mikal? Ooh, that's a good question. Is Mikal Bridges an all-star? I don't think he and OG can get in. I think only one of them could get in. If one of them gets in, well, let me change that. If we win every game from now to the All-Star break, they might put 4 Knicks in there. Like if we just go complete dominant, like we just win every game, or like let's say we get 1 or 2 losses between now and the All-Star break, like we just turn on the Jets and become extra dominant, that may be an opportunity for Mikal to get in there. But I don't think we're going to be that dominant. I hope we are, but I don't think we. And because of that, I think they'll give us 3, not 2. I think they'll give us what Cleveland got last year. They'll give us 3, not 2. And Mikal, he plays like a 4th option. As good as he's looking, he plays like a 4. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying that hurts your all-star bid. He will be all-NBA defense. Probably first team. With all the notoriety in the national TV games, which is another argument I had for Brunson that I had tucked away. All the national TV games. The fact that old media now, for whatever reason, loves Jalen Brunson. By the way, didn't I tell you the Doris Burke? I don't think is Doris Burke even on TV? Nonetheless, don't matter. That little too small narrative did not tell you I was going to poof and disappear. Oh, he's undersized, but yeah, that you don't hear that no more. Interesting stuff. Let's see. No, BS10258, he says because we can beat OKC. I believe you. I believe you. I believe you. I need to see it to believe it. I'm going to pick us, but I'm not going to act like OKC isn't the favorite. You know, that's just me being the objective fan. But could we beat them? Hell yeah. Would it be the biggest surprise in the world? Hell no. Wouldn't be the biggest surprise in the world. Trust me, we've seen crazier things in sports. All right. I'm going to jump in the flagship. Where we on time? Okay, cool. I didn't make y'all wait too long. I'm going to talk about this cup, man. I'm going to talk about this cup. And, you know, a lot of you guys, I feel like you guys are jumping off the deep end. And you know, and then some of you guys, y'all don't care enough. So I'm here to balance the scales. All right, let me just find my article I want to touch on. Oh, it might be here. Okay. So this is the question, and we talked about this before, and I had some more time to think about it. Hopefully I'm logged in, please. Okay. How the Knicks should celebrate if they conquer the NBA Cup. Mikal Bridges says, nah, I'm okay. I'm thinking you're searching for more than just that. Okay, so basically, should the Knicks hang a NBA Cup banner? That's the question. And this is what Mikal said. Nah, I'm okay. I think you're searching for something even more than that, which is the championship, right? So Mikal, he's not on board with hanging the banner. And this is a good article if you have the New York Post Plus Sports or Sports Plus. You know, I use it because I read a lot of news, but this is a good read, you know. OG said they can put a banner up. Who owns he owns the 2019 championship ring, but no parade or something like that. Okay, so I gave you two perspectives, right? He said they could put the banner up, but he don't want the parade. He don't want the parade. They've been downplaying this NBA Cup. Oh, I'm not in research mode. My fault. They've been downplaying, and this is the first quote here with Mikal. He says, "Nah, I'm okay. Just want to make sure that's on the screen." And then I was just reading from here when he said, OG Anunoby says they could put the banner up. He just doesn't want no parade. Now, I'm glad OG said that. I don't have a problem with a banner. We spoke about this on some of the call-up shows. I think the banner is cool. The Lakers did it. Some people said, oh, why should we care about the Lakers? They have nothing to do with us. While they don't have nothing to do with us, they are probably the most successful franchise in the NBA. So as much as we don't want to admit it, because this is New York, we think everything is the best here, that is the team everyone looks at. That is the team that gets a championship every 10 years. They don't go more than 10 years without a championship. That's just not what LA does. They're going to go get Luka. They're going to get LeBron. They're going to get Shaq, whoever the hell they got to get. They're going to get a championship every 10 years. At least. So them doing it, right, to me, does matter to the degree that the most successful franchise values it enough to put a banner up. Why can't we do it? We got Eastern Conference. How many of you guys been to the Garden? You see all those banners up there that don't mean nothing? What is an Atlantic Division champion? We don't even look at division standings anymore. When's the last time you went to a division standing and said, oh, we number one in the division? Nobody cares. It has no impetus on the playoffs except for, I think you still need to have 3 of the top division teams in the top 4. I'm at 100 on that. I think that rule still applies. That so let's say you win the Central, or maybe they took that rule away. I can't really remember. Either way, whether the rule is there or not, the bottom line is we got division champion banners up there. If a division champion banner can go up there, an NBA Cup banner could go up there. But I'm with OG. I don't want no parade. And this is what my concern is. Especially to the Giannis people. Because y'all know, if we don't win, oh my goodness, I'm going to be like, yo, what the hell? You had the opportunity to go get Giannis. You said no because you were better. And then you don't go to the finals? That's unacceptable. So what I don't want from you, yes, I'm talking to you, Knicks fans. I don't want you to tell me, oh, but at least we won the NBA Cup. I swear, if somebody says that to me, I don't normally do this, but I might just curse you out. Live on air. I'm joking. I'm not going to do that on air. But do not come to me and say, but at least we won the cup, bro. No. It's not that important. I think it matters. And And Mike Brown, and we talk this hot shit, right? I mean, excuse my French. I shouldn't curse. Oh, forgive me. Sorry. But we talk this hot stuff. Mike Brown, oh, the cup, it don't matter. Whatever, it is what it is. Da, 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 da. If the cup didn't matter, why did Mikal Bridges play 43 minutes in a regular season? Was this Coach Tibbs? I'm just saying, he played 43 minutes. This is the guy who complained to Tibbs about minutes. This is the guy that complained that you need to play the bench more. He played 43 minutes in the game that didn't mean nothing. How about OG Anunoby, 40 minutes? Coming off injury. This guy was just playing 20-something minutes 2 games ago. Now he's playing 40 minutes in a game that don't mean much. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. I'm going to say, and hopefully this can give some good balance going forward. The cup matters. It matters. And it has importance because all of the games leading up to the championship count. The next phase for the NBA is to reward the cup champions. Like I was talking to Dorkosaurus Rex on the other pod. And I got my calendar. When you see me look up like this, I'm looking at the calendar. I got a big calendar up there with all of the Knicks games and just all types of content stuff, et cetera, right? After we play this cup game on Tuesday, we got 3 more games this week. Thursday night in Indiana. You know they hate us. Even though they're a bad team, they hate us. They're going to play their hearts out. We got to go to Indiana. The next night, we got Philadelphia in the Garden. Another team that hates us, can't stand us. They got, Joel Embiid going to be his best self that night. And then on Sunday, you got the Miami Heat. That is our reward for going to the Cup. So one of the things I suggested was next season, if you go to the Cup championship or if you win the Cup games, you got to make one of those games adjustable. So that Indiana game gets pushed back to give us another day off so we can get ready for the grind to come. Because you go right into a bunch of back-to-back, not just back-to-back games, but every other night games. So you go into a back-to-back, then you got a game every other night. That's right back into the grind. You didn't even get a chance to relax and rest in Vegas. The teams that lost got the opportunity to rest and relax. So everything is good about the NBA Cup except the game. They need to make the Cup matter. If they want us to care more, they should this is what I always said. They should make it where the finals, the team that wins the Cup has home court in the finals. You don't think people will be going a lot more hard? And when I say the team, I mean like the conference. So if the Eastern Conference wins it, then we should get it. But then you're going to say, oh, well, that's not rewarding the team that won it. And then the team that won it, you could get the convertible game, right? We're going to give you an extra days off or rest. You're already getting more money. Get your weight up and get to the finals. You get the home court. But they could figure out other things, whether it's more money. I mean, I don't have all the answers, Sway, but all I know is that grind that we have to go in, and especially if Mike Brown's playing guys 43 minutes and 40 minutes in these games that don't matter. Yeah. So that's my biggest concern. I don't want you guys telling me, yeah, but we won the Cup, though. Wrong answer. You're going to get blocked, bro. If I'm talking to you online, you're going to get blocked. If I'm talking to you in the street in Brooklyn, you're going to get cursed out, man. Come on, dude. Don't tell me, oh, it's all about the Cup. When we lose, and now you want to use the Cup as something to hold on to. The Lakers are not doing that, by the way. Now, what I don't like from Laker fans is when they try to undermine the Cup because they're not in it. I hate that. So now we're trying to draw these comparisons as well to the Cup. Nova Knicks had the edge because they won college championships. That ain't got nothing to do with the goddamn pros. You better knock that crap off, dog. Did Giannis have success last year when he won the championship? What about LeBron? Did he have success in college? Was that his college experience that got him to the Cup? No, that's a reach, though. These guys ain't been in college in damn near 8, 9, 10 years. What are we talking about? There's no edge. It's just win or go home. And I would like to win the cup. I think it matters. I think it's important, but I don't think it's on a championship level. I'm with OG. Hang up a banner. I do want the banner, and we can have a celebration night. You know, like, hey, to honor the cup champions. That's cool too, but don't give me the parade. That's too much. It's sort of like, and hopefully OG's winning ways rub off on the rest of them, getting street names in the middle of the playoffs. Why in the hell are we getting street names? We ain't win nothing. We didn't even go to the finals, and they giving us street names. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, Knicks fans, since we want to talk about, and this is my final cup tape. So all you Knicks fans, yes, I'm talking to you, who go in game 2 of the playoffs and go outside after you win and you climb street posters and street banners and street signs and you on top of the street sign like you won a champion. Y'all need to stop too. We going too hard. Okay, we can gather after the game. That's a New York City thing. But I don't need to see you climbing the guard and then climbing the street poles like you won something. If we're not going to hang a banner for this, then we don't need to be in the street celebrating a game 2 win in the playoffs. We are above that. So, yeah, I am the objective fan. I'm going to give you the whole picture. Y'all want to be in front of the garden going crazy. And you ain't win nothing. Keep that same energy. Let's see where I'm at. I'm going to talk about, okay. I give you some trades. I mean, how are we on time? We can talk about trades. I think I'm doing good on time. I want to keep this show as close to an hour as possible. So I'm going to talk about some trades. Of course, you know, we can't do a show without talking about that Giannis man, right? But before I get to Giannis, by the way, before I get to Giannis, man, definitely hit that like button. Continue to smash the like button, okay? And hold on, let me give you my little sound bite. Continue to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe also, if you're not subscribed. Subscribe to my channel. Okay? And also, if you are a subscriber, consider joining the channel. I'm going to talk more about that in a second. But before I get to Giannis and some Giannis news, I want to touch on something else. Oh, and I got to open up my OneNote. But I want to touch on something else. And I'm going to go into the chat. After I get off this trade stuff, I'm gonna go in the chat as well. I know you guys got a lot that you want to say. So today is December 15th, right? And so now the floodgates is open. I don't think we've seen any moves yet. And, you know, teams taking their times. But there's 84 players that can be traded that couldn't be traded before today. And that's due to the free agency signing rules. So when you sign to a team, they can't trade you for 3 months. I think that's fair. Because think about it. How many people would have got traded the day after they got signed? Like, come on, dude. I just signed to you, and now you're going to trade me the next day? So to make it fair, they put in a rule where you got to wait 3 months. So I don't think there has been any deals yet. Oh, I do got the list of players, too. I'm not going to put that on the screen. But, so right now, Gershon Yabusele, who signed with us over the summer, can be traded. Jordan Clarkson, who signed with us over the summer, those guys can be traded. And then look, and as this line says here, it means that 90% of the NBA can be moved. I think Herb Jones can't be traded until January. His deadline is January. So, like when Mikal Bridges, he signed his extension. Remember, he can't be traded for 6 months. So different signings or types of contracts have different windows. Okay, so not everyone, but 90% of the league, and I'm sorry, I'm not in research mode. My bad. 90% of the league can be moved. And of course, Jordan Clarkson, Yabu, and Shamet can be traded. Of course, like I just said, Mikal can't be traded till February. So what does this mean for Yabu? Is Yabu up out of here? I'm going to say this. If Yabu's not traded this week, it's because there's a bigger deal they're saving that salary for. Let me show you why I think Yabu's out of here. And it's very simple. Right? It's not because he's not a nice guy. I met the guy, shook his hand. He's a great guy. Very, very good guy. You know, nice. This has nothing to do with, there's no attack on Yabu, right? There's no attack on his character. I think he's a great guy. And I think he's a solid player. I saw him in Euro Cup. I think he's way better than what he's shown us. But this is the only reason why I think he's out. Well, no, not the only. This is the main reason. You see this player option right here, y'all? You see that? This is for 26-27. Hold on. Let me see if I could. Can't really do it. Okay. Let me zoom out. Okay. Bam. It's a little smaller, but now you can see the year. That player option means that Yabu can come back next season. So I got a question for you. If you guys are not impressed with Yabu, do you think they are? You think Leon and Mike Brown is? Do you want to give this brother the opportunity to come back to your team next season? If you're not feeling him now? No, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to trade him. That, to me, is the number one reason why he's going to get traded. And then you add the poor performance. It's like, do you want to be with this guy another year? I don't see it happening. I could be wrong. I mean, he doesn't really have the time to show and prove, because right now, when you look at that game, the last game we played, you got OG Anunoby playing 40 minutes. A lot of that time could have went to Yabu. At least 6, if you take off 6 minutes from OG's minutes and gave it to Yabu, that's 10 minutes, which is still not a lot, but it's a lot better than 4. So Tyler Kolek is getting more minutes than Yabu at this point. What are we talking about here? So that's why I think Yabu is out of here, y'all. It's not because I don't like him. It's not because, I have an axe to grind. It's not because it's not just because he's, as some of you would call it, Yabba Doo-Doo. That's not my term. That's y'all term. Yabba Doo-Boo, Yabba Dabba Doo-Doo, or whatever. Yo, y'all, the fans are undefeated, y'all. Y'all be coming up with some mean stuff, boy. If I was a player, I wouldn't even own a social media name. Because I couldn't come on here and see the stuff y'all talking about. I'd be arguing with you dudes every day because I'm about to smoke, dog. I'm a confrontational dude, so I couldn't do it. Let's see. No, this is not the article I wanted. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. This is not the article I wanted. That's another good article. It's not the article I wanted. There's another article. Hold on. To all my Giannis people that want to trade for Giannis. Let me see if I can find this really quickly. But in the meantime, I'm going to look in the chat. Wolverine keeps talking. Why Wolverine keeps talking about Bridges for Zion? You have to stop. Like, why would we want Zion Williamson, dog? For what? To get hurt? No. I'm good. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get this article on the screen. I'm going to keep looking in the chat. Let me just put the chat window up. There's another Giannis article that came out today, I think. That's why I don't have it on my joint. But I did see it, and I said, yeah, I want to also touch on this. Hold on. That other article was talking about how we only got an 8-man rotation. I'm like, huh? What the hell are you talking about? We got an 8-man rotation. No. It says we need to get an 8th man that can play in our rotation. That's what the article said. And I'm like, huh? Like, huh? BS10258 said Bridges for Zion would get Leon Rose fired. Facts. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this article, man. Oh, boy. I thought I added it. Is this it? Hold on. I'm just trying to make sure this is the article. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Let me just put this on my computer. Mellow Mike says, I'm not opposed to the Giannis trade. I'm stuck in the middle. Reason why I can see somehow the Knicks getting gutted out. You know what, Mellow Mike? Hold that thought, because if I have time, you are the comment of the week. You and another brother in particular, since I'm talking about this Giannis stuff. But I'll get to that a little bit later. Because you didn't say that in your comment of the week. That's a more fair comment that you're in the middle. But you know, you're entitled to your opinion. I don't, no one is wrong for having an opinion. Doesn't mean your opinion is right, but no one is wrong for having an opinion, right? So I listen. I don't care about convincing you. That's not what my job is. My job is to balance the scales. Meaning, I got to bring the level-headed Knicks talk here, because if I didn't, there'll be less level-headed Knicks talk out here and more delusional Knicks fan stuff. So that's my only purpose. I just want to challenge your thought process and to figure out, why do you think the way you do? That's all I want to do. Knicks shot at Giannis trade just received another major boost. So Mark Stein of the Stein line said, now listen to this. This is a major key. There's a growing belief among trade trackers that San Antonio and Houston, like Oklahoma City, do not plan, I repeat, do not plan to join the chase for Antetokounmpo if and when he becomes available, apparently. All of them like what they have going. First off, you know what? Let me just say this. I want to give those brothers a salute over there. Salute, man. Thank you for getting out of the way. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Salute to those guys. I'm going to give you a round of applause. Salute to those guys for getting the hell out the way. This is great for us because Oklahoma City, we don't have a package to rival them at all. Houston, San Antonio. But here's the thing about those three teams. If Giannis looks at those teams and say, they got what I need, he could easily go there. Because they actually got the package that will entice Milwaukee. So getting these teams out of the way means that they won't recruit Giannis. It makes it better for us. And what this article is trying to say is that taking possible Giannis teams off the board does not automatically position New York to swoop in and grab them. As we found out this summer, it does not have the assets to sway Milwaukee outright. It needs Giannis to exert his leverage and for the Bucks to run thin on options. I disagree with that last part. It takes for Giannis to exert his leverage. That's it. That's all it takes. It does. The options don't matter because the options won't exist if he exerts his leverage. It's kind of like you kind of stepping on your own point. One of the factors that favors the Knicks is that Giannis is clearly interested in playing for them, and maybe this is why the other teams are backed off. Getting the other teams to back off, however, feels impossible. There's always some squad willing to mortgage everything for the start. I'm not concerned about that. But the Knicks is saying Giannis staying in Milwaukee this season is good for the Knicks. It's good for the Knicks in that he's not going to go nowhere else, right? And like I told you, the Knicks will get 4 picks next summer. The problem is, and here's the problem. Well, I have an unfiltered thought. I'm not going to step on my unfiltered thought. I got an unfiltered thought telling you that the hiccup with a summer Giannis trade. And I'm just going to give you this raw caveat. For those of you that want to wait till the summer to trade for Giannis, if you do that, more of your beloved Knicks will have to go in the Giannis deal. I'll just end it there. But that's my Giannis take. More of your beloved Knicks would have to go during the summer. Just remember I said that, all right? You heard it from here first. If somebody else writes that, you got it here first, okay? Let me jump in the chat for a little bit. See what you guys talking about. And then I'm going to wrap up the pod. Let's see. Giannis don't want to come here, J-Tap Mob. That's cap. Where you get J-Tap? Stop. Where you getting that from? Where Giannis don't want to come? Where we get it? What report did you read that in? Like, we can't just make stuff up. Mellow Mike said that's one of the reasons why I don't want him gutting the team. It makes no sense. Nah, it makes sense. Nah, I'm not going to say it don't make no sense. Because, listen, To all my gutting the team people, if we don't get to the finals, the team needs to be gutted. If you don't get to the finals with this team, the team needs to be gutted. Were you going to come back next year when the East is better? When Giannis goes to Miami next year? You want to come back and do it again with the same team that couldn't get it done this year without the team, without Tatum, without Halliburton? So we're going to keep the same. So you're going to tell me you don't want to gut the team. Maybe the team is not good enough. Maybe the team needs to be gutted. I'm sorry. I hate to break it to you, but that might be a possibility. Your team might be weak as hell. What are we sustaining? You better get to the finals. Or yeah, we're going to have to gut the team. Wolverine says Zion is a walking triple-double. When? Where? First of all, how many triple-doubles does Zion have? He scores 30 points in his sleep. When? He's a potential game changer. Hold up. All right. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take some time here. Hold on. He said Zion is a walking triple-double? I don't even remember seeing a headline saying Zion triple-double. Maybe I'm not paying attention because I really didn't watch the Pelicans. I mean, there's nothing to watch there. I'm going to keep it real. It's nothing that I missed out on in life. I mean, it is the Pelicans. I mean, a miserable place, right, to be. And partially because of Giannis. So this brother, okay, all right. Let's pipe it down. This brother said Giannis is a walking triple-double. He's averaging 21.7 points, 5.6 rebounds, 3.8 assists. Are you kidding me? Like, do you know that Mikal Bridges put up like 26 when he went to Brooklyn? Anybody could put up 26 on a team like this. But I'm looking at triple-doubles. He said the brother's a walking triple-double. He averages 3.8 assists. When? Did he even get 10 assists in his career? Let alone a triple-double. All right, we're going to go to the game. Okay, whoa. You want to trade? This brother played how many games? This brother played 10 games out of how many? Hold up. Let me get my math right. He played 11 games. This brother played 11 games out of 27. And you want me to trade the most durable, the most available player in the league for this guy? So he could sit on the bench? This is New York City. We learned from McDyess and, Amari Stoudemire. We learned from getting guys that are injury prone. Why would I trade my whole shebang for a dude like this? Wolverine, you got to stop. Now, I'm not done. I'm looking for the triple-double. He said he's a walking triple-double. Please tell me the brother got a triple-double this season. You can't be a walking triple-double and you don't get a triple-double in the season that you're talking about. Hold on. Let's look at this. 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 assists, no rebounds, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Okay, he got close here. 9 rebounds, 6 assists. Still not a triple-double. Okay. 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Okay. 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Okay. 1 rebound, 2 assists. Okay. 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Okay. Where's this goddamn triple-double at? Wolverine, you got to stop. Nah, dog, you got to stop. Nah, you got to stop. This is why I stay in research mode. You can't talk to me about nonsense when I'm in research mode, dog. I'm sorry. You said the brother's a walking triple-double. He didn't get nowhere near close to a triple-double this year. He got maybe a half a chance at a triple-double. That's it. This brother ain't get nowhere near a triple-double. How's he a walking triple? Guys, listen, man. I'm telling you, this is why I'm here, y'all. I'm here to balance the scales, man. I'm going to go to my comment of the week because Mellow Mike, salute to my man. That's my man, Mellow Mike. Got a lot of love for Mellow Mike. And this brother, I'm putting y'all together. This brother right here. See, this comment right here from King, this really grinds my gear. Oh, my God. We don't need Giannis. Learn from Melo. What the hell does that mean? Y'all need to in the chat gotta explain this to me. We don't need Giannis. Learn from Melo. What the hell does that mean? I'm gonna let y'all ponder on that. I'm gonna go back to my man Melo Mike. New York Knicks, it's time we move on from the topic of Giannis, and it's good with what we got. We're good with what we got. We could find another guy to add to this team. We need height, so let's see what Lee can pull out during the trade deadline. Okay. Let me say this, Melo Mike. No, we're not moving on from the Giannis topic. We're not. First off, I'm doing shows talking about the game, and y'all calling up, not you, Melo, but they calling up saying Giannis. That's every show. I'm not even trying to talk about Giannis. Like today, I talked about Giannis a little bit. I gave you an update as to what those other teams don't want. They're not in the Giannis conversation. That was it. If I didn't get that news, I wouldn't even talk about Giannis today. I'm going to keep it real. But you guys in the chat bringing up Giannis too. But this right here, the idea that we need to move on from Giannis, I think that that's not the right course of action because we hadn't won anything. Now, I know Melo Mike, he values the cup. Of course, he doesn't think it's a championship. But at the same time, let's not act like we accomplished the goal without Giannis so we can get off the topic. Until we get the championship, and even then, I still want him. I'm keeping it real. That's just me. Anytime I could get a guy of that caliber, I'm getting him on my team. Because I know we don't got it now. Now, Jalen Brunson is emerging. Right? Salute to Jalen. I'm going to give him a salute. Salute to Jalen Brunson. He's emerging. I love Jalen Brunson. He's not Giannis. He's not. He's not. Sorry. He's not. You're talking about an MVP, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 7 straight All-NBA first teams, multiple All-NBA defenses. He has more accomplishments by himself than your entire team does. You can add all of them. Towns, Brunson, add them all up. They don't got what Giannis has. And it's for a reason. What I'm trying to tell you is that if Giannis is available, you have to get him. But I'm going to move past Melo Mike. This brother right here, salute to you, King, but your thinking is the problem. Because one, you're making a false comparison. Giannis and Melo are two different. That's two different. I love Melo. Melo is one of my favorite Knicks all time. Top 5 favorite Knicks all time. He's nowhere near Giannis Antetokounmpo. You have to relax. And then also, so everybody who's dumping on Melo, a lot of you guys dump on Melo like, oh, Melo ruined the Knicks. And what Melo ruined? How Melo ruined the Knicks? You tell me. Let's look at the package. Raymond Felton, who was all right. Timothy Moskov, give me a goddamn break. Danilo Gallinari, give me another goddamn break. I can't even remember the other guy. Who was the other guy in the deal? Wilson Chandler, I think it was, right? None of those guys shines Carmelo Anthony's shoes. None of those guys went on to win anything. But I think Moskov might have got something, right? Was Moskov there? Moskov might have got a championship somehow. But the rest of those guys, what did they do? These guys didn't go on to be all-stars, and you had to make the move for Melo. You had to. There was no guarantees you was going to get Melo next year. That's cap. Oh, you could have just signed him next season. No. There's no guarantees. Just like, oh, yeah, we could trade for Giannis next year. There's no guarantees he's going to be there. When you got Melo, guess what happened? Went to the playoffs 3 straight years in a row. Melo made it to the playoffs every year of his career before he got to New York. Do you understand that this sorry-ass franchise is the first time that Melo didn't go to the playoffs? It wasn't Melo's fault. It was a goddamn Phil Jackson coming in, deciding to move away from Mike Wilson. Yes, Mike Wilson had that disappointing season, but everyone puts the blame on Melo like it's Melo's fault. Melo is the only all-star that wanted to come to New York. Are you kidding me? And we need to learn from Melo. Like Melo was the greatest mistake. No, the greatest mistake was Phil Jackson. If you would have got Leon Rose with Carmelo Anthony, you don't think the Knicks would be way better? If Leon Rose would have took over the team then, and Leon Rose and with Carmelo Anthony, you don't think the Knicks would have been better? Clearly, it was Phil Jackson. And we never had Giannis Antetokounmpo in our franchise. You got to relax. We never traded for a guy of a Giannis Antetokounmpo's capacity. So even the argument, like my man said about gutting the team, like, what are you talking about? You talking about losing a bunch of dudes that not going to be remembered 20 years from now? I love them, but who's going to remember these guys? If I have the opportunity to get Giannis Antetokounmpo, I'm going to get it done, because you got to understand something. Milwaukee dropped the ball. You know why? Because they're singing the small market blues. The small market blues is not being able to spend money to keep your guys. So now you got to make hard decisions. Like, you trade Jrue Holiday because you feel whatever reason, I don't know what they felt in the Jrue Holiday deal, like it was Jrue Holiday's fault. I don't understand that. But then Middleton was still there. And Middleton, who is nice too, but Middleton wasn't doing nothing after the Lillard trade. What did Middleton do? Then eventually you had to trade Middleton. But like I said, anytime you're trying to sustain, like OKC, this is what I want to see from them. Can they sustain that team? Because the small market teams have proven they can't. They can't hold on to their guys. So don't compare Milwaukee's struggles with Giannis, making bad trades, gutting their team to try to keep Giannis, making moves that he didn't even want them to make, and think that that's going to be our fate when we get Giannis. Because you're not going to have to give up everyone to get him. But if you do, okay, you still going to have Brunson, Bridges. You still going to have a good team. It's not like you're going to give up everybody, because my motto is anybody, not everyone. I'm going to move on. Y'all got to relax. Let me do word on the street and then we up out of here. Yeah, we getting close to 9. Salute to us still Knicks fans. They getting ready to do their show. We're going to go right over there at 9 o'clock. Let me do this word on the street. And before I get there, I'm going to talk about the channel membership really quickly, because you guys are bugging. So I just want to talk to you guys really quickly about the channel membership. You know, I keep saying if you're a subscriber, you should consider joining the channel. My membership is fire, man. Salute to all the channel members in the building. My man Mellow Mike, J-Tap, I see you. All the good people in the building, my man. Yuri, he just dropped a super chat too. He said Bucks lost to the to the Nets. The Nets by 48. What more needs to be said? Go get Giannis. Thank you for that. I appreciate that, Yuri. Yeah, they did lose to 48. That's the type of team that, think about it, they lost to the Nets. We hadn't lost to the Nets in I can't tell you how many years. They lose to the Nets by 48 points. Yeah, that's the franchise, y'all. That's why Giannis hasn't had success there. And he's been taking them to that sorry-ass team. He's been taking them to the playoffs every year. As sorry as Milwaukee is. Bring that brother to New York. We going to the final. We going to win the championship, because OKC ain't got nothing for Giannis. That's one thing I know for sure. They ain't got nothing for that brother. But salute to that. I appreciate that super chat. Salute to my man New Day Entertainment. I see you in the building as well, man. All the channel members, they all got their badges. We have the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. It's lit in there. I might get into 5 debates tonight, depending on how it goes. Because J-Tap, he was wild and talking about Giannis don't want to come to New York. We could debate that if you want, J-Tap. I want to know what crazy Knick channel you heard say that. That's just not true. We didn't get no reports on that. Anyway, nonetheless, we have a great conversation 24/7. Knicks chat. We talk all sports. If you're feeling the content on the channel, you're going to be feeling the Discord server. So definitely join the channel and you can get more access to me. And like I said, I'm in there every day, and we just, it's just, it gets interesting. Of course, the members get the cool star so I can identify you, like I just said with Mellow Mike and my man New Day Entertainment, my man Yuri with the super chat. I do appreciate that. And to all, to all of the other members in the building, members get priority reply to comments. So, I drop a lot of content on this channel. So anytime you drop a comment, I always get back to the members because they take care of me. They look out for me. Salute to all the channel members once again. And I got a video series called The Unfiltered Thought. I'm about due for another one. I might bang out 2 tonight. Basically, it's just videos with me late in the night, you know, just talking about stuff I probably wouldn't want to talk about on YouTube. That video I did on Giannis, go check it out if you are a channel member. It breaks down the trade. And I think that we'd be better off trading for him now, not in the summer, for a couple of reasons. But anyway, nonetheless, that's one of the video series that I have. You get access to when you join the channel. I got the Objective Fan Hoop series, which should be coming back. I have a gym that I'm checking out, but I just got to make sure I can record up in there, and I got to see what the temperature is in there. But I'm looking to bring that back next year for sure. Of course, members always get shouted out, like I always do. And of course, members get a discount, on all of the merch. Like, well, this ain't the merch, but this is the journal. 20% off discount to channel members for this. And also you get, discounts on the merch. The Captain 11 hoodies, Bodega Cat. I got to come out with some more merch as well. But right now I'm pushing the journals, but more merch will be on the way. Okay? And I'm going to jump back into research mode, and then I'm going to do Word on the Street. And we out of here, y'all. And then we're going to go to Still Knicks Fans. So let me go to my posts. All right. So there's a couple of polls here. All right. Will the Knicks... No, I'm going to skip that because, yeah. Well, I'll do it. Will the Knicks secure their first win of the season tonight against a team above 500 on the road? And this was the Toronto game. So let's see how many people said yes, how many people said no. I said yes, 97%. I don't believe this number because, when you win, people come behind you. But 97% of the 389 votes, they said yes. And then this is actually a good one because it's talking about today, and the topic we talked about earlier is Gershon Yabusele trade bait for December 15th. 338 votes. I'm going to say yes. I think he's out of here. 87% say yes. They think Yabu's ghost. If the Knicks win the NBA Cup, are we hanging a banner in the Garden? This is for the flagship topic today. I say yeah. 68. I think we should. 68% of Knicks fans think that it's okay to hang the banner up. Salute to that. Will Jalen Brunson gain top 5 MVP consideration if he plays well this season? 279 votes. I'm going to say yes. 94% say yes. Yeah, I think it's undeniable. Best team in the East. The brother deserves it, man. But, salute to y'all who was in the building tonight. I do appreciate y'all. That's all I got for Word on the Street. I'm going to get to the gamification, man. Salute to my man Michael at the #1 spot. Channel member, Mixtape Madness, Discord server. Salute to you. BS10258, all the same. All the channel members and people in the Discord in the top 4. New Day Entertainment, Mellow Mike, BS10258, Michael. Now Wolverine at the #5 spot. Oh, Lord. Salute to Randall, channel member. I do appreciate you, Randall. J-Tab Mob, Mixtape Madness, Discord server, channel member. I do appreciate you. Zach, one of the first people to chat in the chat tonight. Salute to you. HRM, the great Mixtape Madness Discord server channel member. We got to work on another alternative to playback. Playback is out of business. We were going to do a playback channel here. Oh, well, the issue they had, the blackout issue, nonetheless, they had to get up out of here. Salute to Dogosaurus Rex. I do appreciate you, my man Nick Shack. JM3, Shammy White, I see you. It's the great, I see you. My man JJP, NYC, channel, I'm with Mixtape Madness Discord server. Salute to you. And salute to Psych. That's all I got for you tonight. And as always, like I always would say, let me get my soundboard so I can get up out of here the right way. So until next time, let's go Knicks.